Is up, everybody? It is a terrific Thursday here at 10-4 Broadcasting. Tonight, we are excited to announce that we are broadcasting the International Racing League. This is our first broadcast with this league here tonight. We couldn't be more excited to be bringing you this Xfinity action here from Auto Club Speedway. I am joined with my main man, Timothy Hammond. How you doing tonight, Tim?
Man, Will, I'm doing great. Excited for tonight. I'm going to be honest here. I'm an avid iRacer, but I'd actually never raced on the Auto Club. So I just bought it tonight. This is going to be my first race watching it. Had iRacing for 10 years, and I've not bought Auto Club. I was never a fan of the track, but over the years, I've become fond of it. Of course, I like it now that they're going to get rid of it. So tonight's going to be a really awesome race because what's different about Auto Club compared to other places that we go, it's really wide and there's a lot of lines to be had here at the Auto Club.
Yes, sir, indeed. I am excited to see which driver is going to stand out in this field here tonight in the International Racing League. As I mentioned to start this broadcast off, this is our very first call for this league. So excuse us if we get a few names wrong and numbers wrong, but I am curious to see who's going to pull away here at Auto Club. Just taking a look at the track so far here tonight, Tim. As you said, these corners are very wide and large banking here. I'd almost look at it as an extended version of the Nashville Fairgrounds race that we just called on Tuesday night. It's very similar to that, where you have a wide range of lines that you can run here at this track. You can either run very low, you can run high side, you can go 3-4 wide sometimes on these corners here. Keep an eye out for who's going to be the top dog here tonight in the International Racing League.
And right now we are looking at Dylan Ellis, who just ran a 41.64, took himself up to fifth for qualifying. Running a very throwback scheme here tonight, Will, and that's I just loved those number 3 cars that they were running in the Xfinity Series back when Junior was driving that car. And Dylan, his second lap, looks like it's gonna be the same. So still sitting P5 here to start tonight's race.
Yeah, Tim, seeing that paint scheme makes me think of some good homemade banana pudding with those manila wafers on top. Oh, that's the move right there. I could use some of that right now. We're taking a look at those qualifying runs so far here tonight. Tim, looks like Hernandez is on the top of the grid right now, running a 4.129 to start things off right now. See if anybody wants to go ahead and put their qualifying lap in so far here tonight. If there's any other drivers that want to get a hot lap in. We actually saw it on Tuesday night in a league that we called, Tim. The last car that went out, we were thinking, oh, here goes the last car in qualifying. And they go out and qualify, and they qualified, I think, second or third in that race. But looks like the grid is all set for tonight's action here, ladies and gentlemen. And we can't wait to get things started here at Auto Club.
And I'm looking at attempting to find. I was attempting to find the points after last week. This is week 2 here in the Xfinity Series. Last week they were at Daytona, so of course they were at Daytona, and this week they're at the Auto Club. Some great tracks coming up here. May 19th we got Las Vegas, then the 26th Phoenix, Atlanta June 2nd, Richmond, Homestead, Chicagoland. One of my favorite tracks. Will listen, that track comes around. I talk a lot of crap when it comes to that racetrack. I talk crap for there, Daytona, Talladega. I love Chicagoland. So the series started May 5th. It looks like it's going to end September 15th. Playoffs start August 18th at Indianapolis. That's going to be awesome.
Yes, sir. A long stretch of a season here, ladies and gentlemen, but we are only on week 2 here in the International Racing League, and I'm curious to see who's going to start pulling away here in this series. As we see, the cars are out on the track, and the pace car is leading them around before the action drops here at the green flag. And Tim, as you said, you're very new to this track, and as an iRacer, you hadn't purchased this track yet, but from your experience of watching the real series, the Pro Series, What should the viewers be in store for here tonight?
Well, it's there's going to be some wide open action here. You're going to see these guys go 3, 4 wide comfortably, maybe even 5 wide down the front stretch to gain these positions. And it's the race is 80 laps, but I'm going to tell you what, it's going to go by pretty fast as the pace car is off, and Patrick Hernandez is going to bring us to the green flag here in that number 19 DeWalt.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go green flag racing. Green, green, green here in the International Racing League at Auto Club Speedway.
And green flag is underway. Hernandez gets a great start on that inside lane.
Yeah, big run for Hernandez right in that middle lane there. He's going to dip down to the inside, heading around the backstretch here. We're already 3 wide racing on the corner there, Tim, on the exit of 1.
And you see the way you want to take this racetrack is, I like Hernandez's line because you want to kind of go in up there a little high sometimes, come down low in turn 1 and come back out high. And you see he's running that kind of middle to high lane here, coming through 3 and 4. It's going to carry the most speed down this front stretch. And you see Taylor behind him is getting a huge draft off of him. See if we can't ride on board with Taylor really quick. You see, gets a huge run.
Going to the inside already on 1 and 2 here, ladies and gentlemen. The 54 of Taylor is trying to get away here. Oh, got a little loose there on X. It's going to lose some speed there. He's going to have to file back in behind Hernandez. They're heading down into 3.
And now he's playing the blocking game with the guys behind him in that number 1 of Roland Collette. Kind of had a blocking. Now he's got the 24 below him of Zachary Johnson. But Zachary's, is he going to be able to hold? Looks like he's holding pretty well to that inside lane.
But Tim, you mentioned it there as he got a big run there. He caught that side draft coming off of Hernandez there and just got loose on the exit. That cost him a lot of speed, but it was wise for him to follow immediately right behind Hernandez as he goes again on the inside there, trying to make a pass for the lead. We have a battle for the lead and a battle for second place going down the backstretch here, folks. See if 54 of Taylor can get around Hernandez here. As you see, he's just trying to use that side draft just a little bit as he's going to have to file back in on this corner. It looks like Taylor has the speed in that 54 to get around Hernandez. It's just figuring out when the best opportunity is going to be as they're coming around 3 and 4 here. That 54 has got a big run coming off of 4. They are now side by side heading to the start-finish line, Tim.
Oh! Man. Little love tap action there.
Yeah.
Kind of reminded me of Ricky Craven and Kurt Busch at Darlington. And Taylor's going to complete the pass. Look at how high that 1 car is running up there. He's going to carry a lot of speed coming off of this corner. And then you see through turns 1 and 2, that 19 is very strong. He's able to gain a lot of ground and keep that number 54 at bay. But this next corner is where the 54 of Taylor is much better than he is. You see the Taylor starts to pull away through the center of the corner down the front stretch.
Taylor and Hernandez are running similar lines as that top side line there, very close to the outside wall there as Taylor's going to go ahead and lead this lap here on lap 5 here. The Auto Club 80, we're bringing you live action at the International Racing League. You're already seeing big battles ensuing here, Tim, but you see that 70 or that 24 is trying to creep up there as well. Kind of a misnomer there. He's rocking the 24 machine, but his last name is Johnson. So for all you Hendrick Motorsports fans out there, you get a little confused. That is the 24 car of Johnson trying to creep up on these leaders here. He's running just a little bit lower line than the leaders so far here. But Tim, you see that 54. He has found his speed here at Auto Club. Looks like he's starting to pull away from Hernandez a little bit now. Hernandez is going to have his hands full right behind. As you see, Johnson's trying to get around Hernandez here.
Now, this is very interesting if you pay attention. With with Johnson going down low, he's eating up his tires more so than Hernandez is just riding that high line, just taking it easy. It's just Johnson's going to keep trying that, and this is what Taylor was doing. Taylor kept diving down into the corner. You're able to get up to the door, but getting off the corner is the problem. That was a good run right there by the 24.
Yeah, but you see that he has to file back in with Hernandez there because if you start drifting that low line by yourself, you're going to lose a lot of speed here. Taylor's still leading the way here at the start-finish line. You got Hernandez in second, Johnson in third, Collette in fourth, and it looks like Tellier in fifth would be our top 5 right now, ladies and gentlemen. We are seeing big battles up here. It looks like to be about a 4-car pack up here in the lead pack here. Do want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. I know Alyssa Lord, she said, good luck, Roland Collette from Midnight Special 4. Also, Young Money 89 said, drivers do good. This is a fun track, and it has been fun already for us up here in the booth. It's exciting racing so far here on 10-4 Broadcasting. As you see, Johnson's trying to get around Hernandez there for the lead. Coming down into 1 and 2 here. Still Taylor in that 54. Now, Tim, if we can jump to about the 6th position, that's where Flieger is about 3.5 seconds off this lead pack here in that 38 machine. Now, you see that car all by themselves there. It's going to be difficult for them to catch the leader.
Yeah, you see quite a bit. I want to take a look here on the. See if I can't pull it up. Oops, wrong button. Yes, I want to see the throttle control here, because you can hear with this engine noise letting off quite a bit, going down about 75-80% throttle to bring it through the corner, and just that these front guys, you can tell by the engine noise. Let me go up here real quick. Big difference in engine noise between these guys, because these guys are really pushing the envelope.
Yeah, Tim, and I wanted to ask you, is there anything that Flieger can do? You know, you sort of see those cars in front of you there. It's almost like a mirage, you know, the watering hole in a desert, if you will. What can you do in that situation? As you know, there's nobody behind you that's going to be able to push you. The car in front of you that you want to catch that draft off is way up there. Is it just you start holding your lines and kind of hope for a caution there, or you just kind of just keep racing your race and hope for the best?
Well, you know, it's funny you call it a mirage, because I'll tell you, there's some times in a race like this where I'll tell you, I've been sitting in the cockpit driving. For instance, got early damage at the Daytona 500 in iRacing, and you're just sitting here looking at the guys in front of you. You're just like, it gets really boring, and mentally it is so difficult to stay focused, hit your marks, and think about long term here. But what Adam's got to do is he's got to hit all of his marks, keep that car clean. Don't make any mistakes that would damage that, and hope for a caution, like you said, and maybe he could play some pit strategy here as well, because if this thing goes green the full 80 laps, which I'm going to tell you right now, very well could do here at the Auto Club, very easy to do, but he could short pit, get better tires than those guys, and gain a lot of time.
Yeah, Tim, it would be wise for him to keep hitting those lines, because he's the only car that's still in the mix, if you will, as the car behind him and Kelsey is about 11 seconds behind the leader, so about 6 seconds behind Flieger here. And then Bohannon is 12 seconds, so another 7 seconds behind Flieger for the 6th position. If we jump back up to the leaders there, we do have a battle for the lead ensuing. Looks like Hernandez is not letting off that back bumper of Taylor just yet. As you see, he's right there. I was looking at the splits on the grid. It was about 0.1, 0.2. So he's right on that back bumper of Taylor in that 54. Looks like we might have found our top dog so far. As you see, the one of Collette trying to creep up there as well. Collette has taken over that 24 of Johnson. As you mentioned, Tim, might be that tire wear of Johnson. But you see Taylor and Hernandez are running that similar line on the high side. And that looks like the preferred line so far in this race here tonight, Tim.
Yeah, and this is I'm not sure who I'd rather be in this situation, the 54 of Taylor or the 19 of Hernandez, because the 54 of Taylor, you're kind of setting the pace here. I really don't think you're pushing the envelope right now, but if you're the 19, you're doing everything you can to stay with that 54. So you may be using up your tires and your stuff more so than Taylor. Taylor just kind of smooth sailing, can do what he want, and just look in his rearview mirror and hope that the 19 doesn't accidentally rear end him or something.
Yeah, I actually like it for Hernandez in that second position because it gives you an opportunity to kind of ride with the leader, if you will. You know, you're not letting that leader pull away too much as you're catching that draft. You see him kind of go to the inside just a little bit when he catches too much speed, but he checks up and follows right back behind Taylor in that 54. So I can almost look at it as, you know, almost like a cat and mouse game, if you will, between these leaders. You know, the faster those two are in the tandem that they're forming up there in the pack, there's nobody else you're going to have to race against except for the guy in front of you. Oh, man, as you almost see contact there, as I was mentioning, you saw a big run out of Hernandez there. Went ahead and followed back in, Tim. But as you see, if they can keep this line, they just can't kind of keep going back and forth there with the lead. As you see, Hernandez was thinking about it. Taylor filed back in there. They're starting to pull away from third place. And like I said, what that enables you to do is just have to worry about one car on the track, and that's the car in front of you.
And I will say that, you know, the 1 in 24 were using their tires more so than these guys. And Brian Toller in that number 2 just took over 4th place from Zachary Johnson. So Zachary Johnson seems to be really struggling. Let's ride on board real quick. I want to take a look and see there we go. Yeah, he's letting off the gas a lot. He's not even full throttle yet.
Yeah, I was going to say, Tim, on a track like this, you can almost let it go full throttle through the corners. You just have to let off for maybe a couple seconds and then get right back on it, seeing as though these corners are high banking and it's a wide corner. You don't really have to let off that much, do you?
Yes and no. And I'll tell you I say yes and no, because right now these tires have almost 20 laps on them, and you can see Johnson struggling. We were watching him go in here to turn 1. You can hear the tires ever so slightly. In iRacing, I know you probably don't know this, but you can hear your tires kind of like being pushed to the edge. It's kind of a high-pitched like squeal. I don't want to reenact it because it's not going to sound like it. But with my headphones on, I can hear it ever so slightly. So he is pushing that car to the limits right now, and that's not good for the tires. You can see he's every lap, his throttle control is getting lower and lower, and in the long run, that's going to hurt him in these tires.
Yeah, and the one thing that, you know, I can't hear the tire noise in my headset up here in the booth, but one thing I do notice when we're riding along with Johnson there is a lot of hand movement there. You see him kind of hesitate to the right a little bit when he comes out of those corners. And that's another reason why he's probably losing a lot of speed, because he's having to fight those tires so much, and it's causing him to kind of oversteer in those corners. You know, you want to try to keep that wheel at a 90-degree angle when you're going around these corners. I just know it from playing, you know, the NASCAR Thunder games back in the day, or any kind of racing game. If you start to hesitate with the wheel to the other direction, that car is almost going to straighten out on the corners, and you don't want that at all. As you see him kind of fight to the right a little bit as he's coming out of those corners, you kind of want to just let that car drift out of the corners. You don't want to have to, you know, the only way or only position on the track you want to let that wheel straighten out is on the straightaways or the backstretch. You know, we'll watch him here on 1 and 2. As you see, he's got that wheel on a 90-degree angle here.
And I'm going to tell you right now, that 90-degree angle, I knew it. That 90-degree angle.
See that big jerk to the right. That's going to cause you a lot of speed.
You cannot hold the wheel that far. Because the issue is, okay, you're turning the wheel that far to the left, your tires are not turning 90 degrees. There's a steering ratio inside of these vehicles, and see, he just keeps pushing straight up to that wall.
And then watch, wham, right, way to the right side on that wheel. And you see when he does that, the car in front of him gains so much more speed when he comes out of exit there, and it's just because of that oversteer coming out of the corners. But back to the leaders here.
We'll watch Hernandez's wheel control. Now look, see, it's not 90 degrees. It's ever so slightly back. Oh, gets a huge run on the 54.
Here we go. Got a battle for the lead, folks, going down into 3 and 4 here. Hernandez and Taylor are side by side here. Hernandez wants to overtake there. He said, I'm tired of running behind him. I'm not Cal Naughton in this race. I am Ricky Bobby. He said, shake and bake time is engaged. He wants to take over this lead.
Great
here.
run.
19 of Hernandez. Big run there, Tim. as you see, he put a little bit of distance between him and Taylor on that move.
He really did. And, you know, we got to remember also, Taylor was using his stuff a lot there in the beginning of this race. He was going to the inside trying to get around him a lot like he is right here. And that, I think, you know, could have cost him. But these two better not look behind them because Roland Collette is catching them.
And I know Colette has some fans in the chat. Daniel Roth on YouTube. We appreciate you watching with us along here at 10-4 Broadcasting. He said, get it, Colette. So that would be our hard charger so far in tonight's event. Has charged through about 3 or 4 positions from where they started. They're kind of creeping up the field a little bit.
He's actually at -1.
Oh,
he
negative
started
1.
second. Yeah.
But faded back a little bit, if you will, and then
you're
worked
right.
his way
Yes.
back up. So,
the hardest charger looks like Toby Kelsey right now in 6th spot. He's up 5 spots since the drop of the green.
But again, looking at that grid, Tim, even though moving up those spots, Kelsey is still 10 seconds behind these leaders here. It's really going to take a caution flag on this track to kind of bunch things back up and let those leaders kind of get a little bit more competitive. But we've seen it with those two where if they run tandem, they can really eat up a lot of speed here on this track. As you see, second place is now almost 2 seconds behind these guys. So, you know, it's going to take a lot for the rest of the field to catch up to these top dogs up here at the top. You see, Colette's really trying.
Don't forget, green flag pit stops, a lot of mistakes can be made by a leader or not. That can win or lose you a race right there.
Yeah, Tim. I'm actually, if we could throw up on the grid lap time speeds, if we could do that, because if you look at Colette, they're starting to really eat into that lead a little bit there. So they might be running faster laps on the track here tonight.
Right now, Taylor seems to be the fastest. Well, last lap he was the fastest. This time by Hernandez takes the top spot.
Takes the top. You see Colette's running a 4.369. So not too far off the pace, about 20/10 of a second behind second place. So I feel like if they can get up there with those leaders, they can hold the speed, but it's going to take reeling them in there, Tim, and you're going to have to run just a little bit faster of a lap to start reeling them in there. As you see, taking a look at another lap speeds there. Close to the leaders, just a little bit far away here on lap 25.
Yeah, this time by, we'll see some updated times, and Hernandez only fastest by 0.01. So, I mean, it's one lap it's Taylor, one lap it's Hernandez. So these guys going to be battling it out hard.
But you see, Colette has the speed on second, you know, only about 0.6 of a second behind second place. So, you know, if the laps keep ticking by, they might be able to reel in second place just based on these lap speeds. But you know, it's going to take trying to get to where you can start catching the draft of the 54 and then maybe start reeling them in a little bit more there as we're going to cross the line on lap 26 here in the Auto Club 80 here live out of the International Racing League here on 10-4 Broadcasting. But it's really been the Hernandez and Taylor show so far here tonight, Tim.
Hernandez, huge lap that time over Hernandez or over Taylor, almost 0.20 faster.
Yeah, as you see, Taylor is now starting to really struggle on finding their line here on the track. As you see, Hernandez is sticking to that high side, almost tapping that wall, almost like a Dale Jr. run, if you will. I know Jr. used to love running that high side. As you see, they're going to go low here on 3 and 4. Taylor's going to try to stay in the middle and try to drift up to the top. Yeah, see, they might be struggling just a little bit in that race car. Might be battling a little bit of tire issues as we've seen out of the 24 of Johnson.
Yeah, the 24 Johnson. Oh, where is? Oh, there we go. Looks like we got pit stops happening. Hernandez down pit road. We'll see what he does here. Scott Taylor takes over the lead in that 54. Brian Toller in as well. Right side is up for Hernandez. I'd imagine you go with 4 fresh ones and full tank.
Now, you don't see the pit crew jump over the wall, you don't see the lug nut guns and all that good stuff, but what do you think the drivers should be concerned about, or what do you think that they are doing here on these green flag pit stops with about 40 laps to go?
Well, they're going to want to get those 4 fresh ones and as much fuel as possible, because if we think about it, so right now, they pit on lap 28. They're going to have to pit a second time, but on that second time, do you risk it and take maybe 2 tires and call it a day, or what? But the other thing for these guys, they've got to make their pit boxes. They can't slide through them. They can't miss them. So far, everyone seems to be doing just fine, as we're looking at Adam Flieger coming in. Rolls into his pit stop. Perfect stop. Looks like the 00 has a lot of damage. I did just see something pop up. Let's go back and take a look here. I think something may have happened to this 00.
It's the 00 of Ordendorf there.
He's coming down pit road. What?
Oh. Just
maybe called it a day, I think.
Yeah, maybe just shut the engine off there, Tim. We still see him on the grid. Hasn't checked out of the server just yet here in the iRacing Simulator. We are watching green flag pit stops here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Auto Club 80 here in the International Racing League. This is our very first broadcast here of this league here on a wonderful Thursday night.
Really want to thank them for reaching out to us for tonight's for tonight's race as well. Didn't know what to expect here heading into Auto Club, and right now these guys, we're at no cautions right now, as Patrick Hernandez takes over that lead. And look at this, Colette has gotten around. I can't find him now.
As you see, Colette's now leading the way here, Tim. I believe next time around here, they're going to overtake.
Oh, Scott Taylor. That's who I'm looking for. Scott Taylor's fell all the way back to 6th.
Yeah.
He was on pit road for 1 minute 31 seconds compared to Patrick's 50.3. Something happened in the Scott Taylor. Let me see if I can't. Hold on.
Rev up that 10-4 broadcast and replay to see what happened there.
So right now, Scott is heading into pit road right here.
Mm-hmm.
Slowing up. That all looks good.
Maybe overshot his pit box a little bit there, Tim.
I don't think I seen that, but we're gonna see here what may have happened to Taylor, because now he's 42 seconds off the lead.
See what happens here, Tim, as we're watching the 54 of Taylor, who's been battling out for the lead. Yeah, he overshot it.
Nope, that's his spot.
I think his spot might be behind that one, Tim.
Let me see.
As you see
Nope, that's his.
The flags, that's his spot.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I know it's hard to see because of that. But now he's just sitting here. Yeah, where's the cockpit? I wonder if they did he get some? He must have gotten a black flag of some sort that held him for a penalty.
Maybe a speeding penalty.
It had to be. He must have sped through maybe one of the sections on pit road, because that can happen, and they will tag you for that.
Yeah. Big moves here. Big news out of the Auto Club 80 here. As you see, the 54 of Taylor was battling out for the lead with Hernandez. Looks like he may have taken a speeding penalty on pit road.
There's Hernandez right there behind him, about to put him a lap down.
Yeah. Oof. Not good news out of that 54 camp. As you've seen, Taylor's been battling it out for the lead the majority of the race here, folks. And you see as unfortunate events happen where you can race really strong throughout, and it just one little small mistake can cost you a lot, Tim. As you see, Hernandez is now behind him, and no, folks, this is not a battle for the lead. This is a battle to stay on the lead lap. So a lot of things have changed under those green flag pit stops.
Yeah, and I mean, I said it before they went down pit road. the pit stops can make or break a race. And here we are looking at exactly that.
We'll take a look at
and
the
right
fan
now,
favorite, Tim.
Patrick Hernandez ahead by almost 7 seconds over Colette.
But Colette is definitely the fan favorite, as we have another shout out in the chat of BJ Fuller says, "Go Colette!" So definitely the fan favorite here in the International Racing League. As you see about the difference here comes the one car, a second place there, Tim. We can go ahead and throw up those intervals to see what exactly the distance is between that car. This goes back to what we were saying during the early stages of this broadcast, is if, even if you're on Revis Island, I like to call it, all by yourself there, you still have to keep focus. You still have to keep your composure.
Sorry.
Right, exactly. As Tim's trying to get his American Idol on here up in the booth.
I just got voted off.
But as you see, you have to keep your composure. You have to keep your confidence. You have to keep in your mind that this race can be mine. There's a lot of things that can still go wrong here. We still got 35 laps to go here at Auto Club, and really anything can happen. We've seen it in a few leagues we've called, Tim, where drivers get in crazy situations to start the race. You see them go a lap down, climb back up through. So just because you're in a kind of a difficult situation right now, being about 6.5 seconds behind the leader, does not mean your night is over.
No, I mean, if anything, almost like your night has just begun, because your work is cut out for you, that's for sure. As we've only got 6 drivers on the lead lap right now. Jeremy Taylor would get that lucky dog if a caution was to come out, but I'll be honest with you, I don't see that happening.
No cautions yet here at Auto Club. As you see, the 88 is going to go ahead and try to get their lap back there. As you see, they're about 3 laps down here in the proceedings at Auto Club. I'm going to say Kuklowski is 3 laps down there. Excuse me if I mispronounced your name there. Flieger is 2 laps down. Ellis is 2 laps down. Taylor is now a lap down here on the track. So, as Tim mentioned, 6 cars are left on the lead lap here in the Auto Club 80. This is live out of the International Racing League here on 10-4 Broadcasting. This is our very first broadcast here with this league. We couldn't be more excited to be here with you folks here tonight. As you're watching, Hernandez, has really not given up that lead position at all here tonight. Maybe switched around a little bit with Taylor in that 54 up there. As we just mentioned a little while ago there, Tim, the 54 did endear a pit road penalty and is now the first car a lap down in 7th position. So a lot of things have changed in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, and I wanted to do a quick shout out to this paint scheme. It reminds me of the McDonald's car that they came out with in the Happy Meals back in the 90s. I don't know if you had those at all, Will. This number 88. Yeah. I loved that paint scheme. That was one of my favorites.
You know what it makes me think of, though, Tim? Because I grew up in North Carolina. It makes me think of the Food Lion race car that we saw for a few races in NASCAR. It's the same colors as Food Lion there.
Okay,
with
yep.
The navy blue and the yellow.
And it also reminds me of the Square D car. Do you remember that one?
No, I don't.
It was, I think it was the 55. I bet if you saw it... I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna send it to you, and you may remember it. Here we go. I found it for you. I got you over here doing extra things outside of iRacing. Actually, this is an iRacing paint job. They did a great job with it. So I'm gonna throw it your way, Will.
Go ahead, Tim, and maybe we can filter through the rest of the field to see if we can't get an eye on the rest of the league's favorite drivers here on the field. This is the 88 of Bohannon there. As we're taking a look at that, Tim's got the memories of the McDonald's car. I got memories of the Food Lion car there, as we see a Ricky Rudd throwback there.
Actually, that might be Alan Quick.
No, better. Going
Davey Allison. That's who I'm thinking
Davey
of.
Allison, yeah. Even further back there.
I think it also looks like Ricky Rudd's Havoline car, He ran that for quite a few years.
That's the 28 of Kukslowski.
Adam, please forgive me what I'm about to say, um, but it's almost like you put Brad Keselowski and Alan Quickie together, and this is what you get. Adam,
Yes,
right
sir.
there.
And he's running in the 10th position. And we see Flieger is running in the 9th position in that 38. Got rocking looks like a custom paint job on that 38 machine. They're running in 9th position. 8th position is going to be the 99 of Ellis. As you see, that's the number 3 car. I do appreciate the banana pudding paint scheme there, the manila wafer
Banana
machine.
pudding. I love it.
Yes, sir. And we've seen Taylor in that 3. We also have another Taylor in the field, and that's the 54 of Taylor. Rocking, I would like to say maybe a Kyle Busch tribute there. Not Kyle Busch, excuse me, Kurt Busch tribute there. Maybe it's the Kyle Busch used to run the 54 or Ty Gibbs now runs the 54 in the Xfinity series there with the same blacked out monster paint scheme. So you see 54 of Taylor there, as we talked about. He's had some difficulties here tonight, endured that pit road speeding penalty. We'll jump up just a few spots to Johnson in that 24. Now, Johnson was running up there for the lead for some of the race here. We saw him run into some tire issues. We took an onboard ride with him as he was a little bit oversteering, fighting those tires there. But you see him kind of riding those lines there now in 5th place. Jump up to the 4th position of Tellier in that number 2 car there. Rocking that Ford Mustang, looking like Brad Keselowski out there with that white paint scheme. Almost makes me think of when he used to run the Miller Lite machine out there for a while out there, Tim. That's going to be 4th position on the track. We jump up to Kelsey in the number 3 position, in the 18 machine. Another bright yellow machine on the track here, folks. It's going to be our 3rd position car on the track, Kelsey, right there. Looks like he's starting to reel in. No, it's still about 4 seconds behind Colette in that one machine. And now, Tim, I was going to ask you, which paint scheme is this? Because every time I see it, it makes me think of a paint scheme, but I can't put my finger on exactly what paint scheme this is.
Almost reminds me of, oh man, what was that? Skull? Or, it's a tobacco.
Mm-hmm. It would be the Skull machine. I just can't remember who the driver was for that back in the day.
I don't even know how to spell skull. That's how terrible.
Sort of like school without the C. SKOL.
See, I was putting a C in there.
As you see,
I think it's Harry Gant, isn't it? Yeah.
It might be, yeah. But as you see, Tim,
That's what it makes me think of.
He's not fading. They're not fading there. They're about 5.5 seconds behind, but not fading on the track. So that opens up the door there to, you can start pulling in Hernandez there on the track. Now on those corners there is really where they're gaining a lot of speed on exit. But you see, ladies and gentlemen, we're on lap 45 of 70 here. The laps are starting to tick down. And Tim, we spoke about it during the broadcast here, keeping your composure, keeping your confidence on the track as you're having to battle through some lap cars here. Maybe use that as your benefit there to try to catch Hernandez. What is it going to take for anybody here on the track? I think the best shot's going to be Colette in that one machine of catching Hernandez on the track here. Is it just going to be reeling them in, or is it just going to be hoping for a mistake out of Hernandez?
Ultimately, if I was Roland here, I'd be hoping for a mistake from Hernandez down pit road. That's going to cost him the most time. Anything he does on the track, could gain him a second here or two there. But if he makes a mistake on pit road, I'm going to tell you right now, that is going to murder his chance of winning this race here tonight. And also, I want to bring up our biggest mover of the race. He was the biggest mover earlier, still is. Toby Kelsey in that number 18, up 8 spots since the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, what a run for them, already up in the 3rd position. Having to fight through some cars, fight through some craziness. Definitely that green flag pit stop has opened the door for a lot of these drivers to compete for a top 5 finish here tonight as we're on week number 2 here in the International Racing League. We want to appreciate everybody for tuning in here at 10-4 Broadcasting. We want to invite everybody, if you're liking what you're seeing here tonight, go check us out on Facebook at 10-4 Broadcasting. Also search us on YouTube at 10-4 Broadcasting on there. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and follow for every time that we go live here on the broadcast. We bring you live action every Tuesday night, every Thursday night now, Friday night as well, Saturday and Sunday, Tim. So all bringing as much iRacing action to the big screen as you can handle at home.
Listen, soon enough, Will, we're going to have to say, come watch us at 10-4 Broadcasting 24/7, 365. That's what we're going to have to say here soon enough.
Yes, sir. But we're going to have almost less than 20 laps to go here in the Auto Club 80. You see Hernandez is still leading the way here. Now, Hernandez hasn't faded out of the top 2 at all here tonight, Tim. Battled Taylor up there for a while. Battled Johnson while Johnson was battling up there with the 24. You saw Johnson trying to make some moves while he was up there battling. But really, Hernandez has just been the clean racer here tonight, and you see the gap has now extended to about 6 seconds on second place, and now really starting to gain some more speed here towards the end of the proceedings. So you're looking through the rest of the grid here. Not many battles are taking place on the track there, folks. As you see, Taylor in that 54 is still about 38 seconds behind, but there's a 7-second gap between them and 5th position, excuse me. Then you look at Johnson in that 24. There's about a 13 or 8-second difference between 5th place and 4th place. And then looking at 4th place and 3rd place, it is about 4 seconds there, Tim. So not many battles ensuing here. We do have a caution on the track there, ladies and gentlemen. Our first caution here in the Auto Club 80. Oh, man. That's going to shake things up more than the dice and the Yahtzee game, I tell you what.
Oh, a driver just stopped on the track.
And that's the 3 of Taylor. Maybe he ran out of fuel there, Tim.
You know what? No. Sorry, that was very confident, and he's been to the pits 4 times compared to everybody else. So I don't. You know what? I know how to solve this. Sorry, I don't. He just came out of pits. Okay.
Maybe just didn't get the repairs that they were hoping there for, Tim, and maybe just wanted to head back down pit road. As you see, are they going to scrape the wall there? Nope. Going to keep it clean.
Coming out. I'm listening to the engine. Okay, second gear. He disappears, comes back.
And just parks it.
Yep.
There we go. It might have been NASCAR getting on the radio and saying we need a caution here, boys.
Oh man, I don't know. That's questionable. Things are gonna be weird. But guess who this saves?
Oh,
Scott
looks like
Taylor.
We do have some people in the chat saying they messed up speeding. So maybe it was the 3 of Taylor. They were speeding down pit road.
I messed up speeding.
Like there are a lot of fans in the chat for Roland Collette. Now, Collette, for you folks watching here tonight, they're going to have a huge opportunity now when this thing goes back green flag racing, because they're going to, depending on this pit stop here, they're going to be right there behind Hernandez. So really, Tim, this is going to be quite the shootout with less than 20 laps to go.
Yeah, I didn't see this happening. I expected us to go the whole way green. To be completely honest with you, this is one of those tracks where that capability can happen. But I still have my doubts about what happened with Jeremy. But yeah, okay, I have to get this off my chest because this happens a lot in iRacing. The thing is, Will, the racing surface is anything above that white line on the bottom there. The second white line next to the grass. So if a driver wants to do what Taylor did, he has got to pull all the way off of the racing surface to completely exit the car the way that he did. He does that, he's clear, he's fine, he's not going to cause a caution. These guys would still be racing green. The issue at hand is the fact that Jeremy stopped on the racing surface, and for iRacing, that is a no-no, and it's going to throw a flag every time.
Yes, sir. And
Sorry, I just had to get that out.
You might be a little agitated, but I think me and the folks at home watching this proceeding here tonight, we love it here because this opens up the door for some awesome racing here. We're going to have probably, let's say, maybe about 15 laps to go once everything gets settled here. Man, it's going to be quite the 15-lap shootout here in the Auto Club 80 because we saw a lot of these drivers have the speed on the track, but based on those green flag pit stops, we're just too far to make a move on Hernandez. Now, Hernandez, who was probably sipping on some Puree water up there, listening to some smooth jazz, thinking this race was all but wrapped up there in that 19 machine, has now really got to get a little sweaty on the wheel, get that heart rate up there on the simulator, knowing you're going to have a fast pack of cars behind you. Depending on what they did on those pit stops, you're going to have a set of freshies on there and a full tank of gas. So a lot of work still to be done out of Hernandez in that 19.
Yeah, and this is going to be, I may sound agitated that happens, but that's just the iRacer in me for when that happens when I'm racing. But we're about to have a great shootout because we've got the one car that was catching the 19. The 18 is now up here. Biggest mover of the race. The 24 is back up here. And the 54 of Scott Taylor is here, ready to go.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. We're going to go green flag racing right now, ladies and gentlemen. The green flag is waving on the flag stand as the cars are revving up to that start-finish line. Here we go. Ooh. Green, green, green. Here in the Auto Club 80.
That outside lane got a little squirrely on that start. Great start by Hernandez. Look at that one come to the inside. The one being pushed by Scott Taylor, the 54. Let's see if they can't clear these guys. Now, the longer these two groups go side by side, the farther out Hernandez is going to get from them. And the 18's in the wall. Oh!
Here, the 54. The Colette has now taken over the lead here from Taylor in that 54. Taylor's trying to get back up to the lead there to pass Colette. We'll have to rev up that 10-4 broadcast and replay to see exactly what happened out of the 19 of Colette or Hernandez. But you see Colette's now the new race leader here on the track.
Oh,
maybe.
No. Hernandez is still the leader.
Yep, still everything's back to normal there, folks. As you see, Hernandez is still the leader. As you see, the 54 of Taylor's trying to get back up there to him. Great work out of 54 of Taylor. They're working their way back up there after enduring that speeding penalty down pit road. Actually went a lap down there, Tim. So as we spoke during this broadcast here, it's awesome to keep your composure, keep your confidence there in the race car. Just not to, you can never give up in a race like this here, Tim, as we were all hoping for that caution, and we got it on the track.
Everyone but me.
As you see, Taylor
this is going to be
great
great.
Right here with Taylor here. These onboard cameras are brought to you by 10-4 Broadcasting.
He's getting a huge run here. Look at this. Look at this.
Ooh, going low. I'm low, says Taylor in that 54. Trying to find that low side there, but files back in down the backstretch. But you see Colette's right on the back bumper of that 54. Is going to try to make a move here on the backstretch. Probably heading down into the corner. Is going to try to make a move. As you see now, they have caught back up to Hernandez in that 19. You see Johnson in that 24 is way low. Trying to whip around there. As you see, Johnson's going to go side by side here. Oh!
54's on the wall. There goes the 24.
Oh, man. That 24 was way low there, and I don't think the other drivers saw him there on the track.
Everything. This benefits Hernandez the most.
Oh, man. Big racing there. Now Taylor's going to have to really work to reel in the leader.
Messed up Colette big time. Let's see if we can go back and take a look. Give me a second here.
See Colette.
Okay, so this is the replay. This is The 54 gets in the wall right there, comes down. He gets to the one hits the 24, and the 24 can do nothing but go down into the
Oh,
grass.
no. These drivers have worked so hard to put themselves back into contention here in the Auto Club 80 as we're taking an onboard ride here with Roland Collette. Definitely the fan favorite in the chat. I have less than 13 laps to go here in the Auto Club 80. If you use that car in front of you, Toller, that 2 machine, as you see, he's going to try to use that draft right here to try to get around them on the backstretch.
He may be trying to use that too to just push that 2 car a little bit closer to them to maybe not use everything up yet. Just kind of be like the tiger preying on the Giselle.
There he goes. Here he goes, Tim. That one's going to go ahead and make that move. Not just yet. Thought about it there on the exit of 4. Probably here on 1 and 2. He's going to go ahead and use that speed as well. Going to go real low. Now, hats off to Johnson in that 24. A lot of speed in that machine. Like I said, was running way low there. He's going to try to whip around the rest of the leaders there. But just when that action started ensuing in front of him, had nowhere to go here. As you see, big battles ensuing. Colette's still trying to make a pass for 3rd place there. But with this battle ensuing, you see Kelsey is right there as well. But what this does, Tim, as you mentioned, it really eats into the speed of these leaders here. As Taylor's making a move for the lead, and that 54 is going to try to go to the inside.
Man, 11 laps to go.
They're side by side.
And he's going to clear him. He's going to do a slide job right up in front of him, right here, coming off of turn 2. Into the lead, Taylor goes. He's going to push that 19 close to that wall. Breaks the momentum.
Wow, big moves there. Is really racing that Monster Energy machine just like the folks before them. As you see, that 54 is now in the lead. That 54 has now come from a lap down to overtake for the lead from Hernandez. Like I said, Hernandez was sipping on that Perrier water, listening to some smooth jazz, thinking about what the victory dinner was going to be, but now has really got their work cut out for him here with less than 10 laps to go.
I'm coming for you, Ricky Bobby. That's what I think he's probably saying inside.
Yeah, he's trying.
And
definitely
now look
trying
behind
there
him.
In the 19.
Don't look behind him. He's got the 2, the 1, the 18 all right here.
Quite the finish for the folks at home here, ladies and gentlemen. As you see there, side by side there, Collette and that 2 of Tollier.
Gonna let him go by.
Yep, gonna overtake there, knowing that they have the faster car there in that 1. Collette's not gonna try to race with that lead. He's gonna try to start pulling in Hernandez in that 19. As you see, Hernandez and Taylor are battling for the lead there. See a car off the track there, heading down pit road. He's gonna go ahead and get out of the way here of the proceedings here. Less than 9 laps to go here in the Auto Club 80. Hernandez is still trying to make a move on Taylor in that 54. Collier sees that race lead in their sights. As you see a big run there on the corner. Going down the backstretch here. It's still Taylor leading the way there in that 54. Hernandez in that 19. You see Collier in that 1. What an awesome Skycam view here out of 10-4 Broadcasting as they're heading down into 3 and 4 here. Taylor still your race leader. Hernandez in that 19. You get the 1 of Collier right there as well. But a big run out of the number 1 machine. As you see, they're going to get closer and closer to that back bumper of Hernandez. Colette's still going to lead the way here. Less than 8 laps to go here, folks.
Man, and they are just... This 3-way battle right here for the lead is going to be crazy. You see the 19 was sucked up to the back of that 54. Let off a little bit. That allows the 1 to suck up to the back of him. And that's just going to help that 1 of Collette stay with these leaders, make that move when he needs to. And back here for 4th place, Toby has his hands full of Brian. And, oh, that's the other one's a lap car. I thought the 3 was on the lead lap. Back up front.
Yeah, back up front we go there, ladies and gentlemen. As you see, Taylor is still in the lead. As you see, Hernandez is going to make a big move out of the 19. He's going to think about going to the inside there. They're going to cross start-finish line here with less than 7 laps to go. Heading down into 1 and 2 here. Hernandez is still trying to make a pass on Taylor. But you see, with that move there comes big responsibility. As you see, that 54 is now going to gain a lot of speed there. You see TJ George Esports is in the chat. Shout out to them as well. If you want more information about the awesome charity event that they have coming up here soon that's representing Mission 22, which is military veteran suicide awareness and mental health awareness, go check them out at TJ George Esports. Go see if you can donate or sign up for that charity racing event they have going on here. You see the battle that is going on here in the International Racing League. You see Taylor in that 54, Hernandez in that 19. They are not giving up on one another. This has been the Tyson-Douglas fight we were all hoping here for at the end of this race. As you see, Hernandez was Mike Tyson throughout, but you see that 54 of Taylor got knocked down a few times now. Like Buster Douglas once said, the fight is not over. I am coming for that heavyweight championship. Hernandez is trying to take that heavyweight championship back from 54 of Taylor. He's inching on that back bumper here, folks. Man. You see Collier. Collier is really keeping back there, Tim, really playing that cat and mouse game, hoping for something to happen between those two. You'll see it here with less than 4 laps.
I'll tell you this, Will. Taylor is so calm right now. I've never seen, like, the back of his car is barely there with how much Hernandez is all over the back of it. But he is sticking to his line. He's sticking to hitting his spots. And he does not care that the 19's getting those little runs because it's not enough to get around him.
Yes, sir. With less than 5 laps to go, we are looking at about a 3-car race now here, folks. This 3-car tandem has pulled away from 4th place. Maybe we'll see something like we saw in the Kentucky Derby where Red Stripe or forgot the horse pretty close there. As you see the 19 go way low there. You see contact was made there. We're going to have less than 4 laps to go there as Hernandez is going to overtake Taylor in that 54 there. But you see Collier to the inside. Is going to follow right behind him. Now they're going to flip-flop as Taylor is going to go down into 3rd place. Collier is going to go into 2nd, heading down into 1 and 2 here.
We're going to take a quick look at what happened. I think the 54 got into the wall, and there it is. He gets into the 1.
Man.
Oh.
Oh no, the 54 of Taylor goes into the 1 of Collier there on the exit of 2. And they're going to smack the outside wall of the backstretch. Oh man.
He just, okay, we're going to go way back. We're going to do maybe way back. I should have went to a replay thing, but we'll do this because we need to see what happened here. So this is heading into turn 3. Okay, I'm going to get the best view possible here. You see the 54 is there. And I believe he comes up, slides in front of the 19 just a little too much. And that pushes him into the outside wall, tags the outside wall, comes down. That's where he loses the momentum for first place. And then coming down the front stretch, he gets passed by the 1 and the 19 of Hernandez. Now we head into turn 1 and 2. And you can see the 54 just dives down in there. He cannot hold that thing down there. And watch, he's going to get real tight. And he's going to come up and just slam into this one right here. Boom.
Oh, man. Nowhere to go at all there, Tim. Oh, man. And a lot of disappointing storylines there. As you see, the 1 of Collier has battled their way up there to fight for the lead. You saw the 54 of Taylor go a lap down and actually overtook the lead there, Tim, and held the lead there for a few laps. But man, what a shakeup of events we're seeing here tonight, folks. I believe we're going to have a green-white checkered once this thing goes back green. But man, what a crazy finish in this International Racing League.
Yeah, that's. I'm wondering if they have fast repairs because that's the only way Taylor's going to get back in this thing. We're going to see as he comes down pit road when he turns into his pit stall what happens to that car if it regains all of its cosmetic features. That's going to mean that he is Wolverine. Oh, there it is. Got it all back.
Yeah, Tim, but I'm sure, I'm not familiar with the iRacing pit stops here, but I'm sure that's going to cost him a little bit of time there getting those repairs done. It might be a fast repair per se, but you are still going to be probably a few cars off the lead there if I had to guess.
Pretty much he's going to come in where he came out. So for the viewers and you, when they have, what's it called? Fast repairs on, it is instantaneous. It takes no time away from your pit stall or pit stop. It's as if it never happened. doesn't matter, doesn't affect nothing, and your crew goes right into making your pit stop with 4 fresh tires and fuel.
See, Tim, let's see where he ends up on the track there. He's going to come out 5th position. So,
Yeah.
going to have a few cars to work through there to try to get themselves back up into the lead here with less than 3 laps to go. It's going to be a tough job for that 54, but what a race nonetheless out of Taylor.
That last restart, he restarted 6th, so I don't see this as a problem for him at all. And I believe we're going to go into overtime as we are hitting we are on lap 69 right now. So our first race with IRL, and we're going into overtime, baby.
Yes, sir. The way this race has proceeded so far for the folks that are tuning in late here, we had a big green flag run there for a while. We saw Hernandez out in the lead. I think a lead of almost 8 or 9 seconds there, Tim, until we saw our first caution, I believe, on I think it was lap 30, or not lap 30, but a lap with 35 to go, something like that.
Nope, I think it was about 20-ish to go.
But then
I can look. I can look. Hold on.
But ever since then, Tim, we saw the field bunch back up there, and it's been nonstop racing since that first restart. And we saw it right there. We saw a 3-car battle ensuing between Collier, Hernandez, and Taylor.
Lap 43.
Yeah. So not too long ago, we saw our first caution. Now our second caution on the track was a battle between the leaders. We saw, Taylor lose position on the track, go down into 3rd. Had a lot of speed up onto the track, but then came right back up into the 1. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Throw those 3s up. Rest in peace to Dale Earnhardt, because this is overtime here in the Auto Club 80 out of the International Racing League. Let's go racing. Green here.
And now look at the 24 is laying back. Really wants to get that 18 to give him a push here on that restart. 19 gets a great start. Everybody else just files in, gets going.
Big run out of the 19 there to start things off here in overtime. It's going to be all by themselves there at the lead of the pack.
Where's Colette? Oh, Colette's a lap down.
Oh, no. Colette's going to go down a lap down. Oh, no. As you see now, the battle is now between Taylor and Johnson up there. Is trying to catch Hernandez in that 19.
Here comes the 54.
Oh, no. Big moves there. This is Hernandez in that 19. He's trying to hold that line there, but next time around, we're going to have 1 lap to go.
Oh, the 24 and the 54 touch.
Oh,
they're still banging. Oh, and they're wrecking.
Oh, no. Oh,
white flag, yellow flag. Oh, man.
We're going to go to overtime once again, I do
Double
believe.
overtime.
Man, what a crazy finish it's been here in the International Racing League. We would expect nonetheless here at 10-4 broadcasting.
Scott Taylor is he has to tow his car. He's now in pit road. We gotta go back and take a look. It looks like Scott Taylor just retired entirely. So we're gonna go back to the green flag here, and we're gonna kind of let's see. We're gonna ride behind the 54 of Taylor. We're gonna see what happens because it really transpires around him, heading down into turn 1 and 2. We're getting a green white checkered here, so 24 gets loose there, tight and loose at the same time. 18 drops to the inside. Now coming through 3 and 4, Will, you're gonna see these two bounce off of each other there, the 24 and the 54, and that's really where it's gonna stem, right here. 54 is holding his line. Oh, but he drifts up and gets into 24 there. I don't know the 24 like that. So right here, the 18 got loose. And then, oh,
man. No, I think the 24 just held their line there as you saw 54 kind of tap him, but that 18 was all over the place. And just we've seen it before. We saw it in one of our other cautions that happened here on the track. You start getting loose. If you're running that high side, there's really nowhere you can go. And we saw it there. You just get trapped up there.
I see. He's doing a lot of. Watch the steering wheel. He does a lot of chopping here. He's near that yellow or that white line, Gets tight, gets loose, gets
Oh, goes
loose.
way right.
Oh, saves a little bit, not enough.
Oh no.
Mm.
Gosh, there's really nowhere to go. And we've talked about throughout this broadcast here. You start oversteering on that steering wheel, you're either one gonna lose a lot of speed, or two, you're gonna end up like Kelsey there, where man, you just get really loose and there's no really saving that machine.
All right, so shake up. Brian Tollier is your leader. Dylan Ellis, 90 or the number 3, who was a lap down, now on the lead lap, sitting P2. Zachary Johnson, the 24, P3. Hernandez, P4, and now Roland Collette gets his lap back. He's now on the lead lap.
Yeah. What a finish this is going to be, Tim. You're going to have about a 4 or 5 car shootout there at the top of that pack. So really, anybody's race there, keep an eye out for Hernandez in that 19. Are they going to be able to get back up to the lead to win this thing? You know, is it going to be Johnson, that 24, who we saw had problems to start this race with overusage of tires? Or is it going to be a few other names that we haven't really called out here tonight too much that have worked their way up into the top, avoided this craziness here with the last about 30 laps or so, has now put themselves in a position to win this race. So keep an eye out for some of these drivers some of these drivers we haven't called out too much here tonight, especially the top names at the top of Tellier and Ellis. You know, wouldn't it be something to see that banana pudding number 3 end up in victory lane?
Man, I don't even know who to say is going to win this race here tonight, because just when I thought Hernandez had it in the bag or Taylor had it in the bag, Taylor officially out of this race, retires on lap 71. Looks like he's going to finish around 8th position here tonight. So really, there's a lot of guys up here that have a chance of this. Like you said, Brian, Dylan, Zachary, all have a chance to take this home tonight.
Yeah, Tim, it looks like our grid is registering the 3 car of Taylor out of this race, but they are definitely not out of this proceedings here. They're up there battling for the lead.
I think it's another Taylor it's got as out. Oh, no, you're right. Interesting.
They are definitely not out of the proceedings here, as they're up there.
Well, I think also
the
problem is Ellis also shows us the number 99 car. That's something he's got to fix on his end for.
But here we go. We are green flag racing here in the
flag.
second overtime, or the Auto Club 80. As you see, Tellier is going to get a big jump there. Into that 2 machine, looking like Brad Kozlowski there with the all-white Ford Mustang.
Yeah, here comes Hernandez, hard on that inside lane.
Yeah, big speed there, heading to the backstretch here. It's going to be Tellier leading the way here down the backstretch. And you see the 3 of Taylor up there as well. Hernandez in the 19. They're side by side down the backstretch here, trying to use a side draft to catch Tellier in that number 2 as they're going to round around 3 and 4 here. Hernandez is going to go down to the inside to make a pass on second place of the 3 car of Taylor. See if they're going to hold that momentum to go around Tellier. Big run there, Tim.
Man, coming down the front stretch. Are we going to hit the white flag this time?
We are. This is it, folks. Whatever happens, happens here in the Auto Club 80.
Oh, man.
Taylor can hold. Oh, as you see, Taylor in that 3 car is trying to make a pass, which is going to slow down Hernandez in that 19 as they're heading around 1 and 2 here.
Brian's trying to block. He's going to have to go up. He's going to have to come back down. He's got to come back down. He didn't.
Oh, he didn't. He didn't, Tim.
He still can block him. He still can block him. There he is. Yeah, keep it going. He's got to push him down. He's going to have to pinch him because 19 gets such a run coming through 3 and 4 side by side. He's pushing. Oh, there it is. 19's going to go home with the victory.
Huge run out of that 19. It looks like Hernandez is going to go ahead and take that green, the checkered flag here tonight. Big win out of Hernandez in that 19 in the Auto Club 80 here in the International Racing League, Tim. Man, what a race.
Patrick, listen, I know Brian has got to be kicking himself right now because in that situation, you got to keep blocking. And he just left the door open, and you can't do that through 3 and 4 because the 19 was way too powerful on that inside lane.
Man, what an ending. We saw Hernandez go down to about 4th or 5th there on that restart. And you said, don't worry, that 19's got it. And I was thinking, I don't know. We might see a different name in victory lane, but we saw nonetheless there that 19 worked their way back up in the lead and has now taken home the victory here in week number 2 of the International Racing League here at Auto Club. As we watch that 19 go ahead and burn it down, and they deserve it there, Tim. What a race it was out of that 19. Like I said, never really faltered out of the top 2 until the last, I'd say about 20-25 laps there, and it wasn't long when they faltered out of that top 2. We saw them drop back down to about 4th or 5th, but after that, it was pretty much game over. So that 19 worked their way back up there. Is now taking home the race victory here in the Auto Club 80.
And I believe our second place finisher has joined us up in the booth here of Dylan Ellis. Dylan, you got a copy?
Hey guys, how's it going tonight?
Man, great after watching that finish. Kind of take me through your race because I know at one point you were a lap down, but you were able to come back up here and bring home P2.
Yeah.
Man, what a great night.
I was actually 2 laps down. Teammate came up into me accidentally. I think it was turn 3 or 4. Then I got a 40-second black flag, but was able to work my way back into a 1 lap down situation. Got the lucky dog. Was able to get the 4 fresh tires on the last that last green white checkered, and was able to get that second place finish. So pretty happy with the night, and just a good race all around in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the way that finish happened. Personally, I didn't want those cautions, but it is what it is. And but it gave away for a great finish here tonight. I know Taylor's probably not happy in that 54, but man, you get to make up that lost time and finish P2.
Yeah, definitely a great night for me.
Was there any point in time where you kind of were hoping that the 19 and the 2 were going to get together and you'd be able to just, as what the words of what's his name, Kyle Busch, back into a win?
Yeah, well, I actually won the first race last week.
Oh, well, there you go.
And I actually backed into that one, so I was hoping I could do it 2 nights in a row, and I was hoping to back into 2 in a row, then go into next week with the trifecta. But
hey, you almost pulled it off.
Yeah, still happy with the second place finish though.
Well, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
No, not really. Just just started doing this about 6 months ago. Just trying to get better each and every week. Still learning, and hope to be a top finisher for the rest of the season.
Well, again, congratulations, and congratulations on last week's win. Unfortunately, we did miss that, but we yeah. Hello? Sorry, my microphone did something weird there. But again, congratulations on second place finish, and we look forward to seeing you next week at. I'm trying to remember where you're at next week.
I think it's Vegas. So.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, but yeah, you all have a good night. Thank you very much.
You too. Thanks, Dylan.
And Dylan Ellis there, Tim. What a run it was for him. Probably wasn't expecting to come home P2 here tonight, especially with the battles that were ensuing in front of him. But one of the guys that we saw battle a lot on the track was the 2 of Tolier. I'll go ahead and bring him up into the booth here. See if we got a copy with him on the radio.
I actually think you may have to go down there and get him because it doesn't let us pull.
Yeah, it won't let us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See if we can't get him in here. As we wait for that, Tim, just kind of take the folks at home here through your thoughts on tonight's action, and what kind of debut it was for us here at 10-4 Broadcasting here in the International Racing League.
Man, for us, I like these long green flag runs, especially at a track like this. California, you can have a whole race go green flag and have green flag pit stops, which we did have here tonight. Unfortunately, the first caution was brought out to an incident with a driver stopping on pit road, or well, he coming off of pit road and stopping on the track. So unfortunately, that brought the field back together. But fortunately for others, it was able to give these other guys a chance at a win and gave us two green white checkered finishes, or two green white checkered. Oh man, two green white checkered attempts. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. And ultimately, Hernandez was able to pull it off.
Yeah, those two overtimes, I guess you could say there, and we finally hit that start finish line there and got that, that final go, if you will. And Hernandez did everything they could to take home this victory here tonight as we await a few of the drivers to join us up here in the booth to get their take on tonight's action. And again, this was our very first race here in the International Racing League. If you have liked what you have seen here tonight, we do invite you to go check us out on Facebook at 10-4 Broadcasting on there. Check us out on YouTube as well at 10-4 Broadcasting. It'll be the first thing that comes up once you search us on there. Go ahead and hit that subscribe, like, and that little notification bell as well to get updated every time we go live here at 10-4 Broadcasting. But we're awaiting our top three finishers here, and we'll get an idea of what their thoughts of tonight's race action was. Yep, still waiting on those drivers there. They've been notified to go ahead and come in our booth here to get their take on tonight's action. Just waiting for them
Brian
to
had come up
in.
here and then he disappeared again.
Got scared by us up here in the booth, but go ahead and get that sorted for you folks at home, because I really want to get a good take on what happened in tonight's race, especially from Hernandez. Just to see exactly what their thoughts of were tonight's race. Just
Now,
to
this was your
see.
first time seeing a race at this track, wasn't it?
Yes, it was actually. It was my very first time seeing a race here at Auto Club. I was used to some of those California boys in the Cup Series dominating here, but it's interesting to see. Some of the drivers preferred, on 1 and 2 to go high side, ride that high side on the backstretch, but then when they go down into 3 and 4, they go low. So it's actually interesting to see once they go low under 3 and 4 on the exit, they swing back up high onto that, touch the wall a little bit. You don't really want to touch it, but you want to get as close as you can. Ride that high side down into 1 and 2. You stay high, you stay high, you stay high. Go back down on the backstretch. Then you go low again down into 3 and 4. And man, those lines that Hernandez and Taylor were running throughout this race here really paid off dividends.
Yeah, and that's something that we talked about before the race started, Will. The different lines here at California. You can run that up against that wall, Kyle Larson, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Style, or you could run that middle line or low line and kind of try to chop that guy up. And you saw the 54 tried that through turns 1 and 2, and ultimately pushed real hard up into that number 1 of Colette. And I believe we have Brian in the booth with us now.
How you doing, buddy?
Great. How you doing? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Will.
We're doing pretty good up here as we're joined by Patrick Hernandez as well. We'll get to Patrick in just a second here as we're going to speak to our third place finisher here of Tolier. And Tolier, it was a crazy race there the last 30 laps. We saw a big green flag run there. We saw you kind of mixed in the pack. We saw you mixed into those cars that were a ways away of Hernandez in that 19. Kind of take us through your point of view of tonight's race and what led you to finish in the top 3.
Well, I finished in the top 3 purely with my driving skill. My car sucked. My crew chief sucks. My pit crew sucks. My dogs and wife hate me. It was pure driving skill that got me to number 3 today.
Yes, sir. We saw that there towards the end. Did you feel like you had something for the 19 or Hernandez? We kind of saw you pulling them in there.
Man, I tried to choke him out, kept him low, and ended up ruining my line. So put me back to 3rd.
Oh, man. It was an exciting race there towards the end. We went through 2 overtimes. I think with that move there you tried to make on Hernandez, you got overtaken for that second position there. How confident are you feeling going into next week at Vegas?
Not very confident. Hopefully I drove good enough today to get a sponsor on the side of my Mustang forward there.
Yeah, we were thinking you were rocking like the Miller Lite Brad Kozlowski Ford Mustang up here in the booth. But nonetheless, you drove an awesome race here tonight. You finished P3, kind of avoided all that craziness there towards the end. Before we let you go here tonight, anybody that you wanted to give a shout out to, or any of those hopeful sponsors you might have out there looking for you?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my team owner and tell him to go pound sand. He needs to put some money. He needs to put some money in his car so I can get competitive.
Oh gosh, that's so good.
Hey,
Well,
thank you guys for broadcasting the race. Hope to see you next week if I don't lose my job.
Hey, you finished P3. You shouldn't lose your job too bad.
yes, sir.
Yeah, I need to do yard work instead of this racing stuff.
Hey,
Well,
at
very
least you
good
didn't
race.
cut the grass here at the racetrack.
I know. Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir. Very good race here tonight. Tolier finished in P3. Nonetheless, it sounds like he could do a little bit better next week, Tim. But
Hey, it'll be
you know,
Vegas. Maybe you can pull out a lucky 7.
there you go. Keep an
I'm
eye out
going.
for that.
You can catch me at the Bunny Ranch next week.
Wonder if that's still open out there. I'm not sure, but
Well, Brian will
what
let
a
us
race
know.
it was for a Tolier in that number 2 machine, and we want to appreciate you taking the time with us here tonight. We'll look forward to next week.
Thank you.
Of course. And now we are joined by our race winner in that 19 machine of Hernandez. And man, yeah, just not really faulted out of the top 2 at all here tonight. As we saw you fade back to about 4th or 5th, with I think was your lowest point in the race. But as Tim mentioned up here in the booth, that didn't last very long as you worked your way back up into the lead. Kind of take us through your point of view of tonight's race and what led you to basically dominate here at Auto Club.
Oh man, I really had a really good practice. The car was on rails. Like even without pushing the car, I was still going fast. Auto Club is one of my better tracks. I spent most of the race first, if not second. Then on the green white checker, I wasn't sure to pit or not to pit, and in the end, I made the mistake of staying out. But then when I saw everybody behind me coming in, I said, "Uh oh, like I think I just messed up." I had a nice lunch, and then I saw the two coming. Like, oh my god, I don't think I'm going to hold this lead. Then the other yellow came out. And I said, man, if I want a chance to win this race, I have to pit. I have to roll the dice. And saw the guys lap down. I said, I'm gonna restart like four. Like I'm gonna still have a chance. And come to pit, take 4 fresh tires. And on that restart, the car was sliding all over the place on the bottom. Like you guys saw on the stream that I made it look easy, but man, that car was loose, was sliding. I had no grip, and in some way, somehow, we managed to catch the number 2. He did a great job defending. Um, but man, I'm really surprised that I actually pulled it off without wrecking myself because that car was wrecking loose.
Yeah, we saw you battle with Taylor in that 54 there. Taylor actually got tangled up in a few instances there towards the end, and you just mentioned your battle with Tolier there at the end in that 2 car. And we saw a few other cars battling with you up at the lead there. Did you feel more pressure kind of be put on yourself there as those, we went through double overtimes, you had to make that pit stop, you had to restart 5th. Did you start feeling the pressure build a little bit more and you're thinking to yourself, man, I put in all this work and I might not be able to put it in victory lane?
Uh, After the mistake in the first in the first green white checker, like I was in doubt. Like man, I think I just messed up. Like leading the entire race, I think I just messed up. And then on the second green white checker, I felt that I had to pit like no matter what. And during the race, yeah, I had a great battle with Taylor. But like I never felt the pressure because I raced in this track like so many times. Uh, at some instance, he was faster than me. I just let him go and just me take care of my tires. And later on the run, he paid dividends, and I managed to pass him back and sail away with the lead.
Yeah, we saw you dominate there for a while at that lead. So saw Taylor battling up there. Saw Collier get up there as well. And never really battled with you at all. You just kind of, like you said, you had that car on rails, and I'll throw it over to Tim to see if he has any questions for you here as our champion here in the Auto Club 80, our debut broadcaster at 10-4 Broadcasting, has a lot of confidence heading into next week.
Man, I have to, how did you, when you were behind the 54 for all those laps, is it easier for you in the situation like that to be following the leader, or is it easier to be the leader?
Like if you know how to take care of your tires, I think being in first and being in second, it feels the same. Again, I saw that he had a run on me, and I just let him go. I said, okay, let him go. He's gonna burn his tires,
Yep.
and I'm going to get him later. And that's exactly what happened. I just kept racing the track. I just let him be him, you know. I kept racing the track, driving the car, and staying away for the wall that I almost hit a couple times. Um, Everything came down, at least on my part, on tire management. That that was the reason that I was managed to then get the lead back.
You did a great job with that. I
Yeah,
could tell that your car was handling much better than everybody else. Everybody else was pushing hard. You were just kind of cruising around like a Sunday drive, just waiting for it to fall into your lap. That's, you know, I didn't see you hesitating or you didn't look worried at all.
No.
I think the only thing that really concerned me was that I thought that the two was going to block you a little bit more, and that was going to really possibly take you both out. But you did a great job tonight, Patrick. And again, congratulations on the win.
thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah, Tim. And actually, for all you soccer fans out there, the way he was describing his race here tonight, it almost makes me think of what Real Madrid did to Man City last week, where Man City went up by a few goals, and you never saw Real Madrid give up. They knew they had the players. They knew they were going to score the goals. Scored two goals in the 90th minute, and then another in the overtime or extra time, if you will. And so never lost that confidence, never lost that composure. And you saw Hernandez do the same thing here tonight. Battled through adversity, went back to about fourth or fifth, had some battles to ensue, but knew deep down that this was their best track here tonight. And man, what a race it was out of that 19 Hernandez. And big congratulations from us here up in the booth. And before we let you go, we do want to give you that opportunity to shout out anybody that you might have had watching here tonight or any sponsors on the side of that race car.
I have no friends watching the race, but but I want to say thank you to everyone that makes this league possible. I want to say thanks to Phil, the creator of this league, for giving me a chance a couple of seasons ago. Um, and overall, thanks to everybody that makes this league possible, and whoever makes possible that we have this space to to relax and unwind. And thank you to you guys for streaming our second race of the season. Awesome job, guys, and I'm looking forward for next week.
Yes, sir. So are we. And what a debut it was for up here in the booth. And like we said, we saw you go out to a big lead, and then we saw things get really crazy exciting there towards the end. So if it wasn't for you drivers making it so exciting for us up here in the booth, it wouldn't be such an awesome broadcast. So thank you guys. And
I got one more thing to say.
He already went to the bunny ranch.
If you guys compare my Dick Trickle style racing to Madrid soccer, I'm gonna get up in that press box. I'm gonna run you guys down. And we're gonna get it. Get it. Get it. Thanks, guys. It was awesome.
Thanks,
yes,
Brian.
Sir. Thank you.
You guys suck. Friggin' soccer. Are you kidding me? Soccer? You drove
so
like you was
great.
playing soccer. Well, what's that like? Good night, guys.
Yes, sir.
Good
That
night,
is
Brian.
the words
Thank
of
you.
a third place finisher, if I've ever heard it.
I gotta go kick a ball in the backyard and see what I'm doing wrong.
You got to use your car.
And to my crew chief, you suck.
Go
See
play
you
some
guys.
Rocket League.
Yeah.
Later, guys.
See you,
Later,
Brian.
man. What a finish it was out of Brian Tollier there. Had to get in the last word after finishing in third place, but what a run it was for everybody here tonight, Tim. And what a debut it was for us up here in the booth, and things got really high octane, really crazy there towards the end. About 20 or 30 laps to go, we started seeing those cautions rain down. We saw the field bunch back up. Spoke to Hernandez there about how, the pressure we thought was building there for him. We started seeing the obstacles, the challenges starting to build up there, but as we spoke to Hernandez there in that 19, there was no pressure. There was, really kept that confidence, really kept that composure, really kept that thought of knowing that they had the best car on the track here tonight.
Yeah, and what a great finish. I mean, we could have asked for a better finish than what we saw on that white flag lap, and even the first green white checkered attempt. Both just you wait for those moments. You wait the whole race. You manage your time, and you set yourself up to be where you got to be at the end there. And Taylor may have been calm and collected earlier on, but once it got to go time, you could tell that his stress level was through the roof. Made a couple of mistakes and ultimately ended his night. And then Hernandez was able to capitalize on the two attempting to block and just being able to bring home that win tonight. Will.
Yeah, and what a big win it was. It wasn't without adversity. Really had to work for it there towards the end, but it was nice to hear that 19 say that there was no pressure at all, knowing that this was their best track. They knew that the car was on rails. They knew whatever adversity, whatever obstacle they had to go through, they were going to overcome it no matter what. Just avoid the craziness in front of them and go ahead and take that lead. And you saw just that out of the 19 of Hernandez, but wouldn't be reminisced without mentioning that 54 of Taylor, who finishes about 10th place after battling for the lead majority of the race here tonight, folks. But we saw in those last about 20 laps or so, get tangled up in two separate events there towards the end.
Yeah, and next week, looking forward to Las Vegas. It's another different style of track. The guys will be running either a mid or high line there, and then they'll do pretty much the same thing they did here tonight, and then try to chop down low to that very low line and gain some spots. But man, awesome race overall for our first race here with the International Racing League. Will.
Yes, sir. We cannot wait until next week at Las Vegas, but that is not the end of the week for us here at 10-4 Broadcasting, as we will be back live here tomorrow night for any race number 2 of the playoffs in the High Octane Sim Series. I believe we are heading to... I have to double check that for the folks at home. Give me just 1 second. I'll get that information. But we are heading to... Heading to Daytona next week, Tim, and race number 2 of the playoffs. There we saw Parker Collins pick up the first victory of those playoffs, and then after that we head to the Charlotte Roval in the third playoff race of that series. Yes, sir. But then after that, we have one race to go into the playoffs, starting the Powerhouse Racing League, and that's going to start on Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's going to be Patrick Morrison and Mitchell Adams up there in the booth for that one. On Sunday night, you can catch us on the East Coast Tour Modifieds on Sunday night around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then you can catch me and Tim back up here in the booth on Tuesday nights, bringing you action out of the Virtual Racing Association. That racing action starts at around 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, Tim. So for the folks at home who enjoyed the broadcast here tonight that want some more iRacing action throughout the weekend, definitely check us out on Facebook and YouTube.
And from all of us here at 10-4 Broadcasting, good night, and we will see you next week right here, Thursday night, 8 p.m. Nope, just kidding, 9 p.m. Las Vegas.